Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Daria, and it was my birthday yesterday, and I wanted to make a video, I guess, for myself about the life lessons that I've learned and what I would tell myself if I was younger. But also, this could be a reminder for myself now when I look back at things when I'm unsure. When you're lost, sometimes you gotta remind yourself of all the things that you've learned. And um, I don't know, those videos that people make? It's like, oh, 20 things I've learned in 20 years or 25 things I've learned in 25 years. Well, um, yeah, this is going to be kind of like a video for me when I was younger, me, and probably a lot of you will relate to it. But also, one of those, like, the 20 things, is going to be a mix of that, which I think is technically the same thing. It was just kind of like a challenge going wrong. But first of all, so the very first thing I'm gonna say, um, it's gonna be a long one, but the first thing that I'm gonna say is, don't fucking take advice from people who are not where you want to be in your life. Don't take advice. Don't take the opinions. Realize that you're in control of yourself. You are the only one who can control what you do. You can't control what other people tell you, but you don't necessarily need to take their feedback or their opinions or their comments as fact. No, it's all subjective. So, yeah, which kind of goes into the next thing. I'm going to put it into that. You don't owe anybody anything. You don't owe anybody anything. You don't no you don't owe anyone an explanation. You don't owe anyone your time. You don't owe anyone a friendship just because they were nice to you. You don't even owe anyone to be nice. You don't owe your family members anything if they treated you like shit. Just really take accountability for or maybe take some time and reevaluate yourself about how people may be disrespecting your boundaries, disrespecting you, and they're not actually in your life for the right reasons. Um, Even your friends, and I don't mean this. Okay, what I'm trying to get with this point, you don't have to be an asshole about anything, but what you can do is, like, you don't have to be so nice all the time. You can set those boundaries. You don't have to respond to every comment. You don't have to read anything. So just be yourself, okay? Just be yourself and don't listen to other people's opinions, okay? Um, talking about both 1 and 2, about not taking advice from people who are not where you want to be in life, or the fact that you don't owe anyone anything. It's really funny about half the time people who tell you these things, who are people who or give you opinions and they just talk a lot. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Maybe they're really smart in their specific field, in the specific way that they're going, but that doesn't mean they know what you're doing, or they're not even in your shoes, okay? So everybody's walking their own path. You don't need to listen to everybody. And on that note, there's a bunch of idiots out there who don't know what to do and they don't know how to shut the fuck up. And they just love giving opinions because they think they know more than anything, but they didn't even finish high school. However, I am not knocking people who have not finished school, okay? I am not knocking people down who have not finished school. I think to each their own. Again, don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. You do your own thing. If that's the best thing for you, do your own thing. There are plenty of people who do great and are much happier not finishing school. But Daria, that is not the trajectory that you were on or you need to be on. So, yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, number three. Your gut instincts are there for a reason. So when you feel unsafe or when you have a feeling that something will go right, um, we talk about gut instincts usually in a negative way about a certain person, like when it's some kind of danger, um, or the environment. I don't know. Also, take time to realize there are certain things that align with your heart and your spirit that actually are really positive. And you could be missing out on those opportunities, and you could be missing out on just a whole new path that you just didn't know was out there, or you had a feeling was out there. But again, you listen to other people, or you did the thing that society tells you to do, and now you're doing something completely different than you felt was right. So I mean, learn to be in tune. It's really hard. I think that just comes with age. Just learn to be in tune with yourself. I don't know what else to say. Just come on, y'all know, meditate, try, eat healthy, um, stretch, spend some time alone, journaling, or getting into that creative mode because truly, so many things can come out of being alone and just listening to yourself and your gut. Okay, so number four. This goes into one and two. Make boundaries. There are a lot of bad people out there. Um, there are a lot of bad people out there. Um, People are raised, I mean, women especially are raised to be good girls. But, the older I get, the more I just wonder. I mean, don't be an asshole, obviously, but the older I get, I mean, I was I was trying to be a good girl, and I just put that title. I took that title so seriously to be a good girl. It's not like I'm a bad person, but um, bad things happen to good people too. You don't deserve anything. Like other people don't owe you anything. You don't owe other people anything. But just because you've quote unquote always lived this good, humble life doesn't mean you're better than anybody. And just because you're nice to even the bad people doesn't mean they can't come and hurt you. So really set those boundaries. I mean, you'll realize when you set those boundaries and you make time for yourself and you're really respectful of yourself, um, your your happiness, and you take that fully into control and you make space for that, you're going to start attracting people who are on the same wavelength, and then it's just going to be a more positive experience because the more you set boundaries with people, the more you realize who's there for you and who's not there for you on top of that. And the more boundaries you set, it can be also with work. You'll realize certain things are for you and certain things are also not for you. So yeah, super important. Boundaries are really important. And unfortunately, when you're going through this independence, when you're growing up, um, there's not that many things out there that can protect you, when you're an adult. Um, yeah, so that's really important. I mean, that's the only way you can protect yourself. And obviously, if something does happen to you out of your will, it's not your fault. But I mean, that's the last thing that you can do. So, um, number five. So I may not do this in order. This is in no particular order, okay? Um, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, hard work beats talent every single time. Um, I in my well, I'm gonna give you an example. So, um, there are obviously everyone's good has their own things that they're good at, right? Um, some people are really good in languages. Some people are really good in sports. Some people are really good in music. Um, some people are just naturally really gifted and talented from when they're children. But um, from my own experiences, I knew I had some inherent talents, but because I was not that focused on them, the people who were not as inherently talented as me when I was a kid surpassed me later on in life, and vice versa. Um, Vice versa. Like, for example, the things that I wasn't that good at when I was a kid, or people were so much better, when I put that hard work, when I put that discipline, um, I surpassed them in the end, because talent can only get you so far. Hard work is practicing a lot of different things, which is, I'm going to get into the next thing. It's about building discipline versus motivation, right? Um, these two are together, discipline and motivation. So hard work is building um, strategies, schemas in your brain, and discipline over and over through failing, through getting things correct, through getting rejected. Um, it's just a whole combination of things that you have to go through that an inherently talented person will get lazy about, like, um, it just it just tramples everything, discipline over motivation, because motivation doesn't last forever, especially with someone like me who has ADHD. I have a lot of things I'm really motivated about, but if I don't do things, if I found that if I don't do things at a certain time every single day, then I just won't get them done, like, motivation can sometimes be external. Discipline is something that you build over time, and it is an internal factor that will contribute to your success, to your goals. So, yeah, going on from that. What else? I'm already not going in order, okay? So, we're gonna see. I have a lot of things that I wanted to say. Um, let's talking about hard work, discipline, and all that stuff. Um, Failure is only when you give up, okay? Um, Listen, people may not. Oh, I just lost my bracelet. Okay. People may not be kind to you. People may not recognize what you're doing as successful, but all that matters is you. And uh, failing is so subjective versus objective. I mean, how can you fail if, for example, someone is starting here but you're starting here, and I mean, like, the person who's starting here um gets to all the way here, but you get to only up way here, and because you're not reaching that echelon of success, you feel like you're failing, and you give up. But in reality, is you made a lot of progress, and the other person had a whole head start, and like, if you just kept going, I mean, yeah, it would have taken you longer, but you would have eventually got to that upper echelon, you know? And that person may also keep going, but like, you would have gotten to there. You would have gotten to there. So things can get rough, but it's important to just learn your lessons, try again, try something new, try a new approach, and just keep with the things that you're really passionate about, keep with the things that you really love, okay? That's all that matters. That's all really that matters. Um, oh god, so many things are so intertwined. um, and with that, actually, on failure and giving up, um, it's about the journey more than the result. Uh, you really have to like the journey. You really have to like building those strategies that I said, you really have to be you got to realize that things just don't have to happen overnight. Okay, they just don't happen overnight, and for some people they do, and it's good for them, but for the majority of people things just don't happen overnight, right? And you got to understand your journey is part of your life, and it's going to give you the experiences that you're going to want when you have the result. You know, you can talk about those struggles, you can talk about the things that you went through, and it just makes life more interesting. And so it's important to be grateful about every step you take, because we're not on here that long on this earth. And, you know, there's so many beautiful things if we reframe our thinking about it. And yeah, just take it step by step. You don't, you don't have to go from here to here right away. You don't have to go from here. Also, about journeys, perfectionism is your biggest setback, because perfectionism is procrastination. And what happens when we procrastinate? We don't get anything done. We want to be perfect. We want to be this perfect person. For example, we want to be this perfect person on the internet. We want to be someone who just seems to have their shit together when in reality we don't. Well, let me tell you something. Nobody actually knows what they're doing. I mean, maybe they've had more practice at things because they started earlier, you know what I mean? But like, they were a beginner at one point too. You gotta start somewhere, is the point. You gotta start somewhere. You don't have to be perfect. That's holding you back, because like, oh my god, I'm just thinking about myself, and any creative endeavor that I wanted to be like, I needed to have this a certain way, I needed to have this another certain way, just because I wanted to be seen as perfect. I wanted to be seen as that good girl that knew what the heck they were doing, and got all that external validation, no, none of that crap matters. Okay, none of that crap matters. Which also, I want to say, don't believe don't believe everything online, and don't believe their perfect lives, because we're all insecure. We all have insecurities, especially people people like me. Not only like me, but people who go on the internet and are trying to connect with people, and are searching for that external validation. You just got to think about, maybe they're not that very happy with themselves. I'm just putting that out there. Don't get me wrong, not everybody. There's so many positive things about having followings and everything, but if you're searching for external validation so much, it's a sign maybe you're not at peace with yourself. You're not at peace with yourself. What else? With that, um life goes on at your pace, and you don't have to fit into anybody's boxes, because, oh boy, maybe because I'm from such an individualistic culture, and I've seen what cultures with communities do, and how a lot harder it is to break away from like family and community. But yeah, you gotta take everything at your own pace, because you're the only one that you need to please and to make happy. And that's a very selfish outlook. And I realize that for many people with more traditional cultures, that's not an option. But the reality is, you're going to be in that grave alone. You came into this world, yeah, you were born from your mother, but you came into this world alone, and you're going to die alone. Isn't that lonely? Nobody's gonna come save you. You gotta save yourself, okay? So just because somebody has $1 million at 20 doesn't mean that that's everything that you gotta be striving for, you know? So many things, you know, so many things and so many values that we actually have are not our own. And you really you gotta take that time with yourself. You gotta take that time. You gotta find out who you are, though. So, continuing on. Ooh, okay. It's better to be cringy than to live with regrets. I think that's self-explanatory. At least, like, you know, the meme, I am cringe, but I'm free. Yeah, I think it's self-explanatory, and I think, yeah, I think you get the point. So we're just gonna move on. Being kind to yourself. Do you like my notebook? Got it off of Amazon. I love these. I love this brand. That was so ADHD of me. Okay, so be kind to yourself. Negative self-talk is your biggest form of sabotage, because if you don't believe in yourself, who will? If you don't believe in yourself, who's gonna get all that shit done that you want? Like, what am I talking this entire time? Like, you're the only one in control of yourself. I mean, you can't be your biggest enemy. You're your own worst biggest enemy and your biggest critic, you know? People don't give a fuck about you. People don't really care. You gotta like chill with that. It's okay that you're not perfect. It's okay that you don't have everything figured out. It's okay. You will. You know yourself. You know what you're capable of. You can give yourself the pep talk that you're not getting from anybody else. You can give yourself that pep talk that you're not getting from anybody else. You can change your life. You can be the love that you're not getting from anybody else. You can be the friend that you've always wanted. You don't need other people. You don't need other people. They don't need you. You don't need them. Okay? Cool. Cool. You know, like, I'm like completely disorganized, but you know, I'm having fun talking. I've talked about this on my channel. Rejection and heartbreak is better for you than you think. Rejection is just redirection. You've probably heard this before. I don't really want to say much on it because you know, yeah, things are heartbreaking. Maybe the person wasn't right for you or the job wasn't right for you. But there's so many there's so many other opportunities and so many better things out there if you just have a positive mindset. Now I understand if if you don't have any like food on the table, you need money, things can feel like the world is ending, and my heart goes out to you. But character development is so important, but also I recognize that it sucks. And we're going to stop talking about this now because I've talked about it before and I just don't want to spend my time on it. And I'm going to talk about something else because it's my channel. It's my YouTube video, right? Oh, okay. This is very important. Your health is the most important thing, okay? It's not like I'm unhealthy, but like sometimes we do things to ourselves because we're not perfect and we want to punish ourselves, maybe like not eating properly, not walking, but take eat your meals, get your vitamins. You would rather be alive than look like someone who's quote unquote conventionally attractive than not be alive, you know? So just take care of yourselves. It's really important. I feel like health also, your health is more important than you think, because it's also, if you're not healthy, you're not going to get anything done. You're not going to get any shit done. You're not going to meet people, you're not going to have friends, you're going to not be fun to hang around with, and like just take care of yourself, please. um Not everybody is able to have um a full body, and like not able to have any not able to have not people some people do not have the things that you really want. And be grateful for your health, because at the end of the day, that is what we're blessed with and what we are provided, that can help us take autonomy and accountability within our life. I am stuttering so much. And honestly, oh, okay. Yeah, I think we're going to be done in a minute. So, well, I have a couple of more things, okay? Okay. So, um like it's better to not be in debt, in my opinion. This is some financial advice. This is my opinion, but you do what you want to do. You don't have to follow me. Um, I feel like it's best to be not in debt, um, because, you know, you catch the drift. So many people just get into debt by going to school, getting those student loans, and then they're in this rat race, and then they can't afford to actually do the things that they like because they got to get a job, start paying it off, and then they're still in debt till they're 80 years old, and they're just, in this whole rat race. If you can avoid it, do it, because it's going to save you so many years and so many years of freedom, and you're going to afford the things that you like, relatively, the things that you kind of relatively like. But so, debt, financial literacy, very important. And success, I'm going to talk about this. Don't compare yourself to the billionaires, to the celebrities. Google them. I bet you half of them have connections to whatever industry that they're doing, or they went to some kind of really private prep school and they came from a lot of money, or they just happen to be in a location where maybe they didn't come from money, didn't have that, but they came from a location like, I don't know, LA, New York, where there were just more opportunities for them right at heart. Chances of that happening to most people from middle America or from middle of nowhere are lower. So that doesn't mean that people who are up there are undeserving of what they do, but they probably had a head start. Okay, that's my take on it. I mean, just Google any celebrity, Google Taylor Swift, Google Beyonce. No shade, no hate to either Taylor Swift or Beyonce, but the facts are out there, and I'm not calling them nepo babies, but same thing goes for those billionaires. You know what I'm talking about? You know, um, And you don't even need all that much to be happy at the end of the day. It's not like you need that much to be happy. Don't get me wrong. A certain amount of money to afford things, to get you out of poverty, is important. But like that amount of fame, of money, of just consumerism is not that important, It's not that important. So that's my take on it, okay? Okay, so this was my little rant on my video. That's all I'm gonna say for now. This was a doozy. I'm getting kind of tired. It's a really nice day out. and the sun is shining on me right now, and I'm just really happy. Um, I think I've grown throughout the years. Obviously, I have a lot of wisdom that I wanted to share because I'm just so wise. Um, and I really do take these lessons that I've learned in my life seriously. I do put them into action, and while I may not be where I want to be, things are working out, and you know, it's good. It's good. It's chill. Anyway, if you like this, please subscribe. I'm going to be doing my little artist series soon. I'm getting to it. Just being raw and authentic, taking time for myself. And yeah, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.